Hi and welcome to my channel. Today is the beginning of a very special series of 8 readings which I'm doing in the lead up to this year's 888 portal. Now the 888 portal is happening on the 8th of August 2024, being this year 2024, adding up to an 8. So it is the 888 portal. This portal is the beginning of the spiritual new year. It aligns the sun, which will be in Leo, with Sirius, Orion's belt, and Earth. Now, the 888 portal is an activation where the past meets the future. It's an energetic spiritual moment of clarity where we recognize the connection between the past and the present, in and around the karmic cycles that we have been in, gaining a spiritual understanding of the links between those. Now, previous 888 portals, because they only happen every 9 years, and I'm going to go back. So 1970, 1988, 1997, 2006, 2015, 2024, and the next one won't happen until 2033. Now, the number 8 is karma. So we all learn lessons in life, but for me, these 888 portals are the biggest spiritual lessons that we learn. There are 3 cards in the tarot, and these actually align with placements, with the astrology placements at the time. So we've got 3 8s here, 888. The first is the Strength card, which is the Sun in Leo. The Strength card represents Leo. Obviously, there's a lion on there, and I've drawn the infinity symbol, which is the 8. So the Strength card. Then we have the 8 of Swords, which is Jupiter in Gemini. The things that bind, the lessons that we learn, how we're stuck in the lessons that we learn, and when we get the strength to understand them on a spiritual level, because the 8 of Swords is being bound. Once you have the strength to understand them, you understand them on a spiritual level. The 8 of Cups, which is Saturn in Pisces, which is another placement that's currently happening at the moment, from June through until the end of November. Saturn is in Pisces. It's a pause where we take a look and reflect on the spiritual nature of things that have happened in the past in order to understand them, unbind ourselves, and be able to walk away from them. The Strength card, the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Cups. Now, a perfect example of this particular 888 activation, 888 portal, it's called the Lionsgate portal, playing out is in the movie Back to the Future. Now, Michael J. Fox was the character, or was the actor who played that role. And when they were trying to get him to play that role, he was actually contracted on another job. He was on Family Ties, and they wouldn't release him. So they brought a different actor in, I think Eric Stoltz. They brought a different actor in, and it didn't work out. And the universe realigned and found a way for Michael J. Fox to play that role. He was always meant to play that role. Now, that movie was released in 1985, and obviously then we had Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 3. So between 1985 and 1990, those 3 movies were released. Now, 1988 was one of those 888 portals. That movie, as we heard Chris Martin say, and if you're not aware, Michael J. Fox, a couple of weeks ago, was invited by the band Coldplay to play with them on stage at Glastonbury. They played the song Fix You. Michael J. Fox has Parkinson's disease. And Chris Martin said while he was on stage with Michael J. Fox, that movie Back to the Future inspired them to form the band Coldplay. Something from the past connecting to something from the future. Ironically, Coldplay was formed in 1997, which again was another year of the 888 portal. And this year, 2024, when they invited him to play with them on stage at Glastonbury, is again another 888 portal year. As I said, that role was always meant to be played by Michael J. Fox. And if we look at the Strength card, it closed the loop from the start to the end of that spiritual journey between those 2 parties. Now, I picked up this card for a reason. The Sun in Leo, the Strength card. gives us the strength to unbind ourselves from the past to walk towards our future. Michael J. Fox is an amazing actor, but that wasn't meant to be the biggest role he played in his life. His spiritual journey began, and as I said, the 8-8 portal or the 888 portal is the beginning of the spiritual new year. His biggest role in life was meant to be an activist for Parkinson's disease. That man, that incredible man, has raised over $2 billion in Parkinson's research in the last 30 years. His acting career was a catalyst to an even bigger spiritual role. So as I go through these readings, these 8 readings that I'm going to do, I'm going to be tapping into energies of this realignment as part of this 888 portal, this realignment that we will go through, or that we have been going through. And my aim is that you will be able to reflect back on things that have happened to you previously and connect them with the future. Now, in that movie, Back to the Future, the DeLorean, to time travel, ironically, had to go 88 miles an hour. So finally, what I'm going to do is, these are a set of activation cards. Now, if you've not been to my channel before, welcome. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, but I'm also an illustrator, and part of my own spiritual journey has been to connect my intuitive side with my creative side. So last year, in the 8-8 portal last year, I created a range of cards. All of the cards I use on my channel are my own designs, my own illustrations, but specifically last year in the 8-8 portal, I created a range of activation cards. This is called my 888 activation deck, and if you are interested in any of my cards, the links to them can be found in the description box. But this particular range of cards, 8 separate designs. Now these are large format, so when I draw them initially, they are huge big pieces of art, and then obviously they're condensed down. Now each card has a specific meaning, and they are going to be each of the 8 readings that I do. I drew them with the intention of doing this reading at this point in time. So this intro I will use at the beginning of all of those 8 readings. They've all been recorded now, and the first one will go up today, and they will be released over the next 8 days. 1 reading each day for the next 8 days. So I'll also put them in a 888 Lionsgate activation playlist that you can find if you're wanting to go back and have a look at any of the other readings. I really enjoyed doing these readings. As I said, they've all been recorded. Some of my most favorite readings that I've done. So please take the time to have a look at those. Lots and lots of information in there, which may give you clarity as to the spiritual journey that you've been on and where it connects the past, the present, and potentially the future. So I will see you in your reading. Hi, and welcome to this reading. Today's reading is the second in a series of 8 readings that I am doing as part of the 888 portal, or the Lionsgate portal, which is happening on the 8th of August 2024. Now, you would have already got the information from the intro. If you actually skipped the intro, it's probably worthwhile going back and having a listen. I did pre-record that intro, and it will be placed in front of all 8 videos. So if you have watched any of the other videos and you've already heard that information, then please feel free to start the video at the reading. This particular card in my 888 activation deck, as I said, there are 8 cards in this activation deck. This particular card is called Kaleidoscope. Now, when you think about a kaleidoscope, it distorts. You can put a kaleidoscope up to a dead brown leaf, and it will make this most amazing pattern. You can put a kaleidoscope up to a piece of dog poo, and it will make it look beautiful because it breaks up that single image into, is it refracted? Into a refracted image. This particular reading, the energy I'm picking up on is of perception and distortion. And with regard to the 888 portal, we had Leo, which is the strength card. which is the number 8. We had the 8 of Swords, which is Jupiter in Gemini, cutting away from that distortion, cutting away from that perception. And then we also had the 8 of Cups, which is Saturn in Pisces. The lessons that you have learnt since, and what I'm picking up specifically for this reading, is since the last 888 portal, which was 2015. And now that was right smack bang in the middle. If I think of specifically just Instagram I think was launched in 2010. By 2018, I think it had 1 billion users. So I'm talking about the social media phase that we have been in, and more predominantly in terms of the amount of people in society that are using it since the last 888 portal, which is 2015. Now, when I think about number 8, which is the Strength card, Leo, we're currently in a Pluto and Aquarius transit, which is a 20-year transit, and is a transit of revolution. So when you look at Leo on the zodiac wheel, it is opposite Aquarius. Aquarius is about humanity. Leo is about power. If you think the Leo, the lion, the king of the jungle, heads of state, people in the public eye. I think about, influencers, people that have these huge platforms that are, I want to say a distortion. And the reason I want to say that is because prior to doing this reading this morning, my daughter walked into the kitchen and she was humming. Now, she and I both pick up on energy. Both of us pick up on energy through songs. And she was humming some songs from a movie from probably, I'm not sure, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, called Rags. And it was about a guy who wore a mask, who had an incredible singing voice, but couldn't show people who he was. So he masked himself because he wanted to be famous. He wanted to be a singer. Now he, in that movie, now I've not watched it, so I just got the breakdown of the movie from her this morning. Now he fell in love with a girl who was extremely popular and in the public eye, and hated every second of it. So he was two people. He was trying to mask himself to get there, and she was there but didn't want to be there. Now the songs were perfect harmony. What that song was about was the fact that they were actually connected. What connected them was a friendship, a kinship, a list of similarities that had absolutely nothing to do with their outward public projection. And so when I say Leo, meaning the number 8 card in the tarot, Leo, which is the Strength card, Leo is also the sun. It's your outward persona, and it is in direct opposition with Aquarius, which is the transit we are in at the moment, which is a bringing back to self, a bringing back to humanity, moving away from doing things because it serves you, and bringing it back to how can I serve other people. And part of that is this distortion. Now, the other song that I was hearing, well, she was singing. So she was singing Perfect Harmony. And then the other one she was singing was Stand Out. And it was a song that the guy was singing, and he was wearing a mask. He was singing about what he could do to stand out. And if you think of Instagram, any of those social media platforms that have literally taken off in the last however many years, they started off as very innocent, people just posting about, what they were eating and what they were doing. And now it is this huge marketing machine that has nothing to do with, for the most part, sincerity. Everything is a distortion. And part of this 888 Lionsgate portal, if this reading is resonating with you, specifically because we have Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is your karmic teacher. Saturn is currently retrograde in Pisces, which is a pause. Is what I am aligning myself to, is what I am forging forward to, part of my spiritual truth, or is it for material gain? Kaleidoscope. Angel of light, angel of freedom on the back. You're getting insight that is allowing you to free yourself from this distortion. Now, the other thing that I was hearing was spiritual health is the new wealth. When I started this reading, it was 111, so 111. That number might have significance to you. As I was doing my pre-shuffle, these 3 cards came out, but in my Angel Oracle deck, I got Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael wields the sword of truth. Truth that is coming to you as part of this cycle that, for me, I believe, for this particular group, started in 2015 at the last 888 portal. What you are working, what you have been working towards in terms of your public appearance, how you are perceived by people, and the distortions that you've placed over it, and are starting to peel back. Now, the other thing I got was, as I was trying to find this card, so I've got a big stack of books beside me, but I've got my iPad sitting on the top, and I was looking and looking and looking. I couldn't find it, and it was underneath the iPad. When you think of the iPad, that's the internet. Who you are is stuck underneath your distorted image that you have on the internet. The other thing I was hearing was, all that glitters isn't gold. I saw the star card. Now, the star card is literally the star. That's somebody, or your public persona. Now, the star card, interestingly, is Aquarius. The star card is 17, and it also adds up to an 8. And as I said before, we had Leo, which is opposite Aquarius. So we've got the Sun, which is the Strength card, which is Leo, opposite the Star card. Also adds up to an 8. But that is that Pluto and Aquarius transit at the moment, where, and I've done it in, it's come through in many readings, mainly readings in the Pluto and Aquarius transit, but there's a real change now from people who are in the public eye, or people who are, specifically people who are building their online presence, are people who are now humanitarian based. And I'll give you an example of that. There's a photographer from Palestine called Motaz, M-O-T-A-Z, who started taking photos in Gaza during the first few months of Gaza being bombed. Now, in that couple of months, he went from a couple of hundred, maybe a couple of thousand followers on his Instagram page to over 18 million. Somebody doing something from a humanitarian standpoint. Now, on the flip side, POTUS, the President of the United States, Instagram account, has got 18 million followers. Now, that is representative of somebody who is Leo, a head of state. And I just saw the Wheel of Fortune in my mind. The other song that I was hearing was, I think it's from National Geographic, that who are you, who, I'm not going to sing, a terrible voice. This 888 Lionsgate portal for this group is about asking yourself who you are. Is the image that you are portraying to the outside world distorted? What you are trying to aim for, is it actually what you want? Will it bring you spiritual wealth? As I was hearing that who card, I've got a big owl that sits out on my back deck, and it's plastic. And it's basically to scare the birds away. It's a distortion, it's an illusion. And eventually, and some of the birds have worked out that that's plastic, that's not real. And so they're coming on my deck now, and they're pooing on my deck, on my back patio. Eventually, the distortion will be revealed. Lots and lots of synchronicities. As I'm sitting here, now I'm not sure what the spiritual, actually I'm going to look it up. Hang on. The spiritual meaning of an owl. Give me a second. Okay, so owls symbolize wisdom, foresight, and intelligence. And they are symbols of protection and intuition. This spiritual insight that you are getting. Now, the other 3 cards that came out before I start pulling cards. So, the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo, but the Ten of Pentacles is material wealth. The people that you look at, who you think are amazing because you think that they have everything. But in that song, in that movie, that Rags movie, and as I said, I haven't watched it, but the storyline I got was that the girl who was in the public eye hated every second of it. And the guy who literally was going from rags to riches, that's why the movie was called Rags. He wanted what she had, but he had to put on a mask to get it. And I said before, spiritual health is the new wealth. Aligning with yourself spiritually is the new wealth. That is the new Ten of Pentacles. I got the angel card, number 13, Yazalel, friendships. It's about connection. The connections that you have with people on a spiritual level, as opposed to the connections that you have with people because they can give you something or you can give something to them. And then finally, the last card. Now this is the South Node in the first house. The first house is the house of self. South Node in the first house, it's been all about putting yourself in the spotlight to uncover your true self. Hilarious that that card came out. South Node in the first house, I'm going to read it again. It's been all about putting yourself in the spotlight to uncover your true self. But hey, it's time to realize that being kind to others doesn't mean losing yourself in the process. What have you done to lose yourself? What mask have you worn to lose yourself in this quest for the Ten of Pentacles? What is your public, how do people view you? What do they see as opposed to what's actually going on? This is where we wave goodbye to old habits to make room for personal growth. It's like our spiritual stretch zone, a time to let go and level up. The South Node is what we are letting go of. I love that. Those cards are amazing. Kaleidoscope. What's the distortion? What's that thing you can polish it? You can polish a turd, but it's still a turd. Interesting. Okay, let's get some cards. So we've got the Four of Swords, which is Jupiter in Libra. We've got the Nine of Swords, which is Mars in Gemini. And we've got the Knight of Swords. That's in your head. Knight of Swords is up at night. And if you're up all night, you're sleeping all day. The Knight of Swords is Mars in Aquarius. It's almost like the mental battle that you have, a game that you have played in order to keep up this external projection of who you are because of something, this Ten of Pentacles, that you're trying to achieve. That's too many, but I'm going to take them. The Devil, it's toxic. So we've got the Justice, which is number 11, which is Libra. We've got the World, and that is, the World is Saturn, the karmic lessons that you learn. And as I said, we've got Saturn in Pisces at the moment. The karmic lessons that you are learning about your spiritual self and your spiritual value and your spiritual wealth coming into balance with the Justice card there, which is Libra. The Page of Swords, again, more swords. The Page of Swords is the Sun in Gemini. A new beginning. A little tentative, but a new beginning all the same. Because we've got the Fool card there, which is Uranus. The Fool is new beginning, but Uranus is earthquakes, a spiritual earthquake. The realization that what you have been putting all your time and your mind and effort into is actually toxic. It's not worth it. And as I said, you may have been doing this since way back in 2015. And this karmic cycle, this distortion that you've projected to the world, this loop that's going round and round and round and round, is coming to an end. Because perhaps you are going through some sort of spiritual awakening. With Uranus there, with the Fool card there. And the World card is the end of a cycle. It's the end of this distortion. Okay, I'm getting, these cards are the Knight of Swords. Now, we already had the Knight of Swords up here. Mars in Gemini. Up late at night, worried. It's the end of that. And look, we've got the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is what I said before. Jupiter in Gemini. That particular card is part of this 888 portal. It is a transit that is happening at the moment. Jupiter is in Gemini from June 2024, so this year, all the way through until June 2025. So this spiritual awakening for you might be something that you will go through. Either you've started it already, and when you come to a reading like this, readings are meant to be confirmation of things that you are already picking up on intuitively. So if this is resonating with you, you've either started this journey of untangling yourself from this distortion that those people that you see on the internet that you think have everything, and you're up at night trying to create to get to that level. You're being untangled from that. You're being shown that spiritual wealth is more valuable than financial wealth. Justice as balance. You're being shown how to balance. Five of Pentacles. Number 5 is change. The 5 of Pentacles is Mercury in Taurus. Now, the card of the 5 of Pentacles is feeling left out in the cold. Feeling like no matter what you do, you can't achieve this. And perhaps the realization that what you are striving for is really not what you want. It's making you miserable. And perhaps realigning with that Aquarius there. Once you actually get in touch with your spiritual self, and in January next year and for the following 18 months, the node of destiny, which is the point that we are moving towards, the node of destiny is in Pisces, which is spirituality. So from January next year, that's planetarily where the focus will be. Once you actually realign yourself with your spiritual self, perhaps that is actually where your wealth comes from. As I said before, look at Motaz, the photographer. And I'm sure he would give up his 18 million followers to have his friends and family alive. But part of his journey on this earth was to have that platform to raise awareness. And now he's out visiting all these countries, raising awareness for the plight of his people. And that goes back to that focus on Aquarius, people who have a humanitarian for the people attitude, as opposed to I'm doing this for myself to make X amount of dollars, to be this most amazing influencer, but have no substance. And actually, now we've got the 8 of Wands, another 8. The 8 of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius. And what I was going to say as that card fell out, what you will find over the coming 18 months is that people on social media, people with platforms on social media, where their content has no substance, will actually be the ones who are left out in the cold, which is that 5 of Pentacles. People are looking for more than just what's on the surface. They're seeing through kaleidoscope. They're seeing through the distortion. Yeah, that's the Hermit. It's being lit up. The Hermit is number 9. The Hermit is Virgo. The Hermit is Chiron, which is the wounded healer. They're seeing through the distortion. That's a little light in the dark. They're seeing through the distortion. One more. You guys have got a lot of cards out. I normally only get 4. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's 7. Yeah, one more for here. Only because I like it even. One more. One more for the Fool. That's too many. Just one, please. Thank you. Okay, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The Ace of Pentacles is a gift from God. Pentacles are your wealth. This 888 portal for this group, and I said it in the beginning, is recognizing the gift that you get from God, is recognizing that wealth does not come from material means. It comes from spiritual wealth. Who you are inside is more valuable than the exterior. That lots of things that you see are an illusion. And I don't know whether I said it, but when I started this reading, I put my pool cleaner on. Now, I was looking at my pool and I was thinking, do I turn it on? Do I turn it off? The whole pool was beautiful, crystal clear. It's been very windy here at the moment. Crystal clear. And I thought, oh, do I put it on? It actually looks clean. And I've put it on. And now all of the crap from the bottom of the pool has all been stirred up. And now I can't see into my pool. It's an illusion. And when you work out that it's an illusion, you get the gift. And on the bottom, we've got the Two of Pentacles. This is this karmic loop that you've been in. Round and round and round and round and round. Keeps going until you get this enlightenment that financial wealth is not valuable. A distorted public persona is not valuable. It's who you are in your spirit that is valuable. Two of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn. Capricorn is value. Jupiter is wealth. Jupiter, Eight of Swords. Jupiter in Gemini. The wealth that you get, this Ace of Pentacles that you get, when you untangle yourself from the idea that your wealth comes from material things. I love this reading. And again, Nine of Swords on the bottom. So we had the Nine of Swords here, the Nine of Swords here, and the Nine of Swords here. That's 3 Nine of Swords. That's 27 swords, which 2 and a 7 adds up to 9 again. That's a lot of swords. It's this battle that you've been in, chasing this material wealth. The illusion of material wealth. The Eight of Swords again. Jupiter in Libra. No, sorry, not Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter in Gemini. But I didn't say anything for kicks. Jupiter in Libra is the Four of Swords. You've been stuck. The Four of Swords is pause. Four of Swords is also pause to get the enlightenment that you need to get yourself unstuck, to get that new beginning. That's the Fool card, Uranus, to have that spiritual awakening, that spiritual earthquake. As I said, Uranus is the card of earthquakes. A new beginning. Okay, so we've got the Two of Pentacles again, which we got here. Two of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn. Round and round and round and round. The Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is miser energy. It's also fear, holding on to things, holding on tight. If I don't keep pushing for this Ten of Pentacles, I'm never going to get it. The Four of Pentacles is the Sun in Capricorn. Holding on tight to this distortion, this illusion. And the Tower's coming down. Now, oftentimes when you see the Tower card, and the Tower is major arcana. If you don't come to this realization on your own as part of this transit into or activation that comes about from this 888 portal, What's led you from 2015 through to 2024, the 2015 888 portal to the 2024 888 portal. If you don't come to this realization, then God brings the tower down on you. So you have no choice but to look at what you are pushing towards in terms of your Ten of Pentacles and how it's not aligning with your spiritual growth. How it will keep you from going round and round and round and round. Underneath that, the moon. And underneath that, we've got the Four of Swords again. It'll keep you paused. It'll keep you stuck. That's a spiritual timeout. A forced spiritual timeout that this tower will put you in to make you see what's hidden, if you haven't already seen it. Okay, let's get some guidance from your guides, your ancestors. What do they want to tell you? Inner wisdom. I think you already know the truth. Maybe that's what's keeping you up at night. It's more about letting go. We had that Four of Pentacles somewhere. Where did we have that? Here. Letting go. Four of Pentacles, Sun in Capricorn, holding on too tight. You need to let it go. I was getting the image of holding on to something like not a jackhammer. It's actually seeing, you can get those things that polish the floor, but they're really hard to hold on to. They polish everything so it looks all beautiful, but like they're not real great for your body. Holding on too tight, trying to polish the floor and make it look all beautiful so you can get this Ten of Pentacles. But you're holding on too tight. You end up needing to go to the chiropractor because you've done some serious damage. All for this illusion, distortion, thing that you're trying to create, this perceived thing that you're trying to create, this Ten of Pentacles that you're trying to reach. You're going to hurt yourself. Deep shadow work. Perhaps in the process of going through a dark night of the soul. As I said, this 888 portal is purely an activation. You may have already started the work. You might be in the middle of it. This might be for you a catalyst to starting the work, or a realization that maybe you're already doing it, but it brings it all together and makes it make sense. Communication. Inner wisdom, deep shadow work, and communication. You're being asked to listen to the guidance that you are receiving in terms of doing this shadow work so that you don't get this tower brought down on you. Because if you choose to ignore it, this tower's coming down. What's underneath? The Magician. That's the illusion, the distortion. The King of Cups under there. That everything is great. The Magician, it's all an illusion. Now, you might be getting that communication. Witchcraft, their magic isn't working. That's it. So when my daughter was telling me about that song this morning, Perfect Harmony, so two people, a guy who was poor and was a singer and wanted to be famous, but he had to wear a mask in order to do it. And he fell in love with a girl who was a singer and had this lifestyle, but she hated every second of it. And she kept being dragged back into... So there's two sides of the coin here. There is somebody who wants this Ten of Pentacles, thinking that it's true wealth. And then the other side of this coin is somebody who has this Ten of Pentacles, witchcraft, their magic isn't working, and is trying to extract themselves from it. So potentially already had their tower moment, trying to extract themselves from it. Witchcraft, that's people within your surroundings that are trying to keep you stuck in Pentacle land when you're trying to have a spiritual new beginning. Two Fool cards here. Your magic isn't working. Magic. They're trying to, somebody's trying to sell you the illusion. Good health, physical, mental, and spiritual. When you start doing the deep shadow work, when you start getting the inner wisdom, when you start communicating with yourself in terms of what is good for you spiritually, that's when their magic, their witchcraft doesn't work. Once you're aware of the distortion and the illusion, you can see through all the bullshit. You can see that doesn't matter how much you polish a turd, it's still a turd. Look at his face. Cranky that you've seen through the illusion. Struggling with personality, struggling with personality patterns. That's how they keep you stuck. That's the devil. That's how they keep you stuck. People that are fearful. Now we had the Four of Pentacles, which is fear. Under here we had the Moon, which is fear. That fear that you're never going to get it, that you're never going to reach the top, is what keeps you stuck. But once you realize that this Ten of Pentacles isn't worth the paper it's written on, and what is actually of true value is spiritual wealth, then you get the face of this man, the devil. You can't be controlled. Get off the grid, hermit mode. Your guides are saying to you, and my throat's closing up. This is get off the grid, hermit mode, to do the work if you haven't started already, but to get out of the clutches of these people. Look at this, Three of Cups underneath. People who draw you in through I want to say social events, but when I think about it, it's social media. The illusion. Where do we have the Magician here? The illusion that what you see, the Three of Cups is Mercury in Cancer. The illusion that what you see on social media is real, but it's not. It's toxic. Maybe you need to have a bit of a social media detox to recognize that things of value. And even, I haven't watched the news, I would say in 4 years, in 5 years. I used to sit down every night and watch the news. You need to stop. Get off the grid. Get off social media. Have a big clean out of your social media accounts. Unfollow people that don't have any substance. Follow people that have soul and that nourish your soul and that build your spiritual wealth. Yeah, cut the toxicity out. Put him there. All right, I'm going to get one more. I always say that, and then 50 cards come out. Okay, we've got In Between Worlds, Lionsgate, 888 activation that's coming through is going to place you in between one world and another. Third party, family, friends, and children. That third party for me is this devil. These people that are influencing you to continue a material focus. As I said, we had the three there underneath there. Oh, look, and we've got Ace of Pentacles under here. This is this. Yeah. This is what they're telling you. If you continue in your toxic ways, I can sell you the dream, Three of Cups. You're going to be so happy. Three of Cups is celebration, and it's going to bring you your Ace of Pentacles, material wealth. Now, the Ace of Swords underneath. Now, I said before, I saw Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the sword of truth. Ace of Swords is Archangel Michael. That's saying that what they are selling you is not the truth. The Sun underneath. You're being enlightened to the truth, or you have already been enlightened to the truth. So when I go back to these cards, third party. Somebody external trying to sell you the dream. But it's a polished piece of poo. Family, friends, and children. They could be doing it through your family, friends, and children. It could be part of your family, friends, and children who are trying to sell you that dream. In between worlds. Working out what is toxic in your life and what is not. And actually creating some boundaries. And doing that by getting off the grid. Okay, I'm not going to get any more of those because I've literally got 50,000 and I didn't want that many. Family, friends, and children is also when you remove yourself from that material wealth and actually go into your soul's journey, looking for your spiritual wealth, you start to align with people in your soul tribe that have the same core beliefs, that are looking for spiritual wealth as well. So then you align with potentially people in your family that are going through that as well, new friends, and new soulmates, children, that sort of thing. You're being asked to follow your gut. Where are you being led? Okay, let's have a look at what angel. Oh, that was fast. 57, Namamiya, prosperity. Prosperity, spiritual prosperity lies ahead for you. When this distortion is shattered, this kaleidoscope is shattered. Shevakia, number 8, again, at number 8. Reconciliation, peace, and harmony. And we have the big guy, Metatron, the celestial scribe. This journey for you, so Metatron is the angel that writes in the book of life. If you think of all of the big events that have happened on the earth, he's the one who writes it. This spiritual journey for you will be written in the book of life, part of your Akashic records. Spiritual truths that you can draw upon in each and every lifetime going forward. The celestial scribe. This is big for you. This realization that spiritual wealth is more valuable than material wealth. Protection from your enemies. 43, Valia. Now, that is this, the devil. Third party. You are protected. As long as you are on a spiritual journey, you will always be protected. And number 19, I can't pronounce that. Lua, fulfillment, wisdom, and divine blessings. Your divine blessings come. Your 10 of Pentacles, which is your spiritual wealth, comes once you get on this journey. 58. Mentality. Now we had those 3, 9 of Swords, up at night. Things become clearer. Things become crystal clear once you actually get on this spiritual journey. Your mentality will change. You'll be sleeping like a baby because it will all make sense. Let's have a look now at a moon oracle for you. Well, that's too many. Thank you. Okay. Full moon in Aries. It's time to juggle spirituality and practicality like a cosmic circus act. How beautiful is that? You've got to put your spirituality and your practicality together. What is on your spiritual path that you can make part of your day-to-day life? And what I will say to you, and I'll give you an example of myself. So I've been an illustrator, I've been artistic my whole life. It's only been in the last 4 years that I've really got on a spiritual path. I mean, I'm spiritual, but really gotten into a deep dive into my spiritual journey. And so what I did was I combined something that I practically already knew, that it was already a gift given to me. I was always creative and artistic. And I combined it with my spirituality, and I created a range of tarot and oracle decks. Now, I couldn't care. If you are called to these, fantastic. I'd be grateful. I'd love you to buy a deck if you're called to it. But the value for me in these oracle decks is and tarot decks that I've created, is what it has given to me spiritually, which is of more value than what money I make from selling it. It's time to juggle spirituality and practicality like a cosmic circus act. Your wealth lies in your spiritual health, which then gives you your spiritual wealth. Okay, let's get 2 nodes of destiny. Actually, we've already got one. Just going to get one more. This is my nodes of destiny deck. South node in the 11th house. So South node is what you are breaking away from. 11th house South node. You're as slick as a ninja's blade, but don't freeze over that heart of gold. Sprinkle in some love and creativity for a toasty twist. This zone is all about kicking back, expanding spiritually, and blossoming into a fresh and fabulous you. So maybe in your normal practical life, you've got everything down pat. But it's asking you to expand spiritually. Whatever you're doing, expand it spiritually. Maybe that's where your divine blessings lie. Okay, let's get a song for you. Let's see if there's a song that can give any further clarification on the messages that are coming through. So, the circle game, Joni Mitchell, and the seasons they go round and round and round, and the paint and ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. This is this karmic loop you've been in. Ding, 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 round and round and round and round and round. Can't help falling in love, Elvis Presley. Like the river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things you know are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. That's about falling in love with your authentic self, not the distortion that you portray. And to do that, you have to connect with yourself on a spiritual level. Let's get 3 of these cards. Now, this is my Love Messages Oracle deck. This is not a love reading. It's a love yourself reading. Love yourself on a spiritual level reading. So if something really lovey-dovey comes out, we're just going to ignore it. But there are other cards in here that I think pertain to this. So let's just get 3 and we'll see where we go. Take them as they resonate. I need some time to sort through my thoughts. Get off the grid, hermit mode. This might be a whole heap of information that's coming into you. Just sit quietly and absorb it. Come back and watch it again. Put it in your saved playlist on YouTube and come back and watch it again. Leave it a couple of days. I often find on YouTube, I'll watch a reading years ago. And then it'll come back up in my For You playlist. And I'll watch it again and I pick up about 1 billion other things that I didn't pick up the last time I watched it because I was on a different stage of my spiritual journey. I think I have just lost it all. That's the fear. And we had the 4 of Pentacles there. That's the fear that if you stop charging forward towards this distortion of financial wealth, you will lose everything. You won't. What you will do is you will go round and round and round until God brings a tower down on you. If he hasn't already. One more. I'm so frustrated. You're frustrated. This is for somebody who's still in that fear mindset. It's liberating. And we had the 8 of Swords here. I think we had it twice actually. Cutting yourself free is liberating. And on the bottom, we've got divine timing. The timing is now. This 888 portal, if it hasn't already, if you're not already doing the work, it will activate you to start doing this work because the time is now. Okay, what do I want to get? What am I missing? Okay, finally. So this is Scrabble tiles in here. Could be your first, middle, last, initial. Could be somebody that you are dealing with, some sort of devil character that you're dealing with, third party that you're dealing with. Could have something to do with the things that you are trying to achieve on a material level. Could have something to do with where you are being called to on a spiritual level. I'm just going to call the letters and the numbers out. So we've got an L and a 1, an O and a 1, an I and a 1, a D and a 1, a D and a 2, sorry, something in that, a Q and a 10, an M and a 3, a Z and a 10, a J and an 8, a K and a 5, an A and a 1, a C and a 3, an R and a 1, a T and a 1. I wanted to say R2D2, whatever that means. An N and a 1, an S and a 1, and finally a U and a 1. So that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I've really enjoyed this reading actually. As I said, the 888 portal is coming up on the 8th of the 8th, 2024. This is the second of 8 readings that I'm doing. I will put them in a 888 Lionsgate playlist if you're wanting to watch any of the other ones. If you resonated with this reading, please give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you are interested in any of my tarot or oracle decks, the links to those can be found in the description box. Thank you so much again for joining me, and I will see you again in another reading.